It's baking time.
Alright, here's the blueberry muffin mix we're using today. And I went ahead and put it in a Ziploc bag and just put some water in it and kneaded it together. It does call for eggs and water, or eggs and milk, but we're just putting water in it to a consistency that should cook. We have the Imusa Pot 12, and I've got the Imusa Pot 10 with the rivets. Where's it at? Where is it? There it is, the rivet handle taken off. I've got a bake ring. I have my parchment paper. I've oiled this, and we're going to put the parchment paper inside. And instead of using the Monster alcohol stove, I'm going to use the Biolite. So we'll get to see what this cooks out to be. So give me a minute to get the stove hooked up, and we will get the muffins. Okay, here's the Biolite stove. And I've got my fuel kind of sitting in there getting ready. I got some piles of wood here ready to go. And then I've got the muffin in here to start cooking. It's going to be a small muffin. I'm not going to make a big one because I'm going to try and see what a half a bag will do. And then I have a fire piston. A fire piston is what I'm going to start my fire with, and have some char cloth. So unfortunately I can't hold on to the camera and do both. But let's see if I can at least get it in frame. So give me a second. Okay. So now I'm going to start this fire with a fire piston. As you can see, the fire piston has a little end there. I take a little piece of char cloth. I'm going to rip it off. I'm going to try a pea-sized piece. I'm going to put it in the end. Pack it in there. It's just a small, just a small area here for it to be. All right, and then we're gonna put it in here just like this. I'm gonna smack it down and pull back out real quick, and you can see that. So then we're gonna try and add it to the fire here. And I'll get it started. So let me show you how it's going. There's the ember down in there. And I have some dryer lint in there. As you can see, the ember. I can't do this and record at the same time, so give me a second. Got the wood burning stove going pretty nice now. So I'm going to add a little bit more twigs to it and get it kind of burning pretty good. And then we're going to put the pot on top of it. Smash that stick down in there a little bit more. And cook that just like that. So there is the Biolite. The airflow gets in there from the little fan. And again, what's cool is I can charge USB right there. I have a little office light. I'll bring that out in a little bit here, but I'm going to set the timer, and we'll see what this muffin does. About 10 minutes. As you can see, the fire's going really nice. That circular flame there. So that's cooking it really nice. This is an extra Imusa pot that I got so I can char it up so it doesn't hurt it. And then let's go see what it's starting to look like. Well, the muffin's starting to rise some. So also I wanted to show you, once that green light comes on the Biolite, I put a little office thing on there, but you know, then you can have a lit up campfire, or you could charge your phone by it. But then, like I said, that little green light tells you that it's primed and ready for electric, and that is because the copper tube that comes through this machine here into this area, which collects the heat, creates the electricity to keep this battery running. So anyway, like I said, about 10 minutes in, we'll see where she ends up, and she's still cooking pretty good. Back to 15 minutes. This thing's got some good hot coals in it, so I'm going to let it burn out. Again, there's that copper. If you notice that black line right there, this is the copper tube right here that creates the electricity from the heat that powers this battery pack. But anyhow, there's the muffin, and we'll take that out in a minute here. I'll take it in the house, and we'll see what we got. But that's my cooking. So See you in a second. Okay, we got it in the house. So let's take it out. And sometimes you just gotta plop it out into a pot holder. There we go. So I'll take it like this. Yeah. I was thinking, I looked at the timer and I thought she was getting a little hot. And I thought, well, maybe another minute. And I think that's what charred it up a little bit. So there's our wax paper. So we charred it, but that's what the test is about. Just to make sure it was cooked. But I think, again, I charred it up. Plus I used olive oil. Maybe that could have done that, but definitely hot. It smells good. You know? Yeah, I mean, it's just water, so maybe with no milk, it didn't rise as much and sat down in there, but other than that, that's good. Out in the campfire, I think I'd still eat that. So, alright, well, that's test number 1. That's what it's worth. That's why we do this stuff, right? And that's why we have a good time, but I'm not overly disappointed with it, but we'll figure it out and do another. It's now time to make some cheese biscuits. I'm going to do the same thing I did with blueberry muffin. However, I've decided to, in the bottom of my pot, put washers instead of an O-ring that I had earlier. I was thinking maybe the air was getting trapped. So we're going to try the cheese biscuits now. Fire's still going. Pot just cooled down enough, so we're going to do that. Talk to you in a second. Okay, as I said, we're going to make a cheese biscuit now. The fire is still going from earlier. And then, like I said, I put 4 bolts in here. So I'm going to do this with the 4 bolts. I'm going to apply this inside. Like that. If anybody's wondering also in the amount of fuel, as you saw just a minute ago, I put a couple sticks in there. I will probably only use this many sticks. Here's my hand, so you can see how big they are. I'll probably only use these sticks here for probably 10 minutes worth of cooking in this. About 13 minutes, and that's how much fuel I have left. I've been slowly adding it because I think what happened the last time with my last blueberry muffin, if you noticed, it was burnt around the edges. I kept this thing roaring the whole time and I was using more fuel. Here, that just started because I put 1 twig in there, but it's been just like hot coals and you know, not quite roaring this much. So it's been just a lazy fire like this. And like I said, my blueberry muffin was cooking pretty hot, and I'm wondering whether that was part of my issue, because it's about 13, 14 minutes in here, and that's not too bad. I don't want the heat out too much. But again, there's the twigs that are left. Probably pushing 14 minutes, and that's about what I was trying to keep the stove at. So it's just a nice little baking stove. So green light is still on. I could still power stuff if I wanted to and charge. So a couple minutes here and we'll see how it turns out. We're in the house now. I'll pull the pot out. As you can see, the biscuit's going to come out of here pretty simple. Ooh, look at that one. This time I was a little easier on the heat. I didn't go crazy with the firewood. And as you can see, boy, this thing's just like, oh yeah, see, this is much better. Even the muffin was still edible, but you know, the cornbread, I kept my eye on it a little bit more this time. Oh yeah, smells delicious. And again, we just used the water. I did not add the milk or butter that it calls for. So I don't know about you, but yeah, this in the middle of the woods would be good stuff. So until I try something else or try something new, or maybe I'm going out this weekend, maybe I'll let you all see what we're doing. That's it. Fun with cooking on a Biolite and my cook pot, baking in the woods or at home. Thanks. See ya.